Welcome into this episode of the Bass Pro Shops Fisherman's Handbook. Today we'll be taking a look at the important role in which electronics play for the modern angler. Whether it's detailed mapping to help navigate while boating, or a real-time view underwater where you can see fish react to your lure, electronics are changing the way we fish.
The thing about electronics today, they're such an integral part of fishing. Not that they weren't a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, decades ago. I mean, when electronics first came out and you had the original flashers, guys were amazed they could see the bottom. Well, with today's electronics, what you're seeing is an all-new, basically, generation of fishermen that are so much more advanced in the usage of electronics and the understanding of it. But to me, they're also dedicated to understanding all of the ins and outs of it. I know years ago, I was scared of electronics in a matter when it came time to go way offshore. I didn't know what I was looking at. I wasn't confident that I was understanding what I'm seeing. But now with today's Garmin units, I can look at them and immediately tell what's going on.
The talk of the fishing industry over the past years or so has been Panoptix LiveScope. Winner of the Best of Category for Electronics at ICAST 2018, LiveScope provides the angler with a real-time view both in front of and below the boat. We're going to start by taking a look back at the initial reaction surrounding the product, as well as some of our first encounters with it on the water.
When you start looking at the pros that make a living casting for cash, no matter what tournament trail, no matter what level that they're competing at, and all of a sudden they're blowing your phone up, they're texting you, they're emailing you, tell me more about LiveScope. I want to know more. It didn't even matter what brand a lot of these guys were in. They saw right away the power of this product. They saw right away what it was going to do for them. They saw right away what kind of an advantage it's going to give them when they were fishing. And you know, as a company, that you created a product that's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a trendsetter, and those are words that are easily tossed around by a lot of people when it comes to products. But when it comes to Garmin's LiveScope, there's no question about it. That's what it was.
You know, Garmin, they've always been, since they jumped on the scene, ahead of the curve as far as technology and innovation. And LiveScope is so cool because it shows you extreme amount of detail.
I mean, I thought Panoptix couldn't get any better, but when you add LiveScope and the fact that you're basically taking a 2D image now and turning it into 3D, it is unbelievable.
You know, we just got this LiveScope on and we're used to Panoptix, and so a lot of this is just kind of a learning curve for us, Wade. And what we're seeing is, first thing we figured out is you really can see your bait really well. I mean, it doesn't matter where your bait is, the cone's pretty big, so if your bait's a little bit left or a little bit right, you can see it really well. Yep. And then those fish, what I'm amazed is how quick they're moving. They're moving around. Now, we're not getting many bites, but you can see the fish clearly.
The key word for LiveScope, and I think it's the key word in fishing, whether you're a tournament fisherman or a weekend fisherman, is it makes me a lot more efficient. I'm able to move a lot faster and cover so much more water and know exactly what's down there.
Now with like LiveScope, it's going to be so detailed. I can tell by looking on that graph that those are bass or other species, catfish, or a lot of these other what we consider trash fish that are not non-target species. Now I'm going to be able to dial in on those bass.
Now, see, so what we're telling ourselves is the dots that we're seeing, the size of them, that's part of the education process.
Part of the education, and these are 13-inch fish.
This is unbelievable technology. I can't fish without it. It's really something special. So the Garmin Panoptix LiveScope is the real deal.
And coming up after the break, we fast forward now to present times, taking a look at Panoptix LiveScope 1 year later. We've learned a ton and caught plenty more fish. Find out more about LiveScope next.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance.
Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Garmin. Fight your fish, not your fish finder. And by Yamaha Marine. Reliability starts here.
You know, Garmin never ceases to amaze me with their technology, and a year ago today they introduced LiveScope, Panoptix LiveScope, and I'm a geek for new technology. I use my Garmin electronics to the absolute fullest, and when I saw it last year, I could only imagine what I was going to do with it during the tour season.
Yeah, I remember some of my first times to use the product. We were drop shotting, we were casting the grass, we were fishing along rocks, and you know, flashing back to the old original Panoptix, I threw it down a boat ramp, watched the fish, you know, react, and I caught him, and I could see this fish fighting, and I thought that was just the neatest thing ever. Now I fast forward to the LiveScope, and you can see your line in the water, and you can see your little bait doing all kinds of different things. You can see the smallest fish to the biggest fish reacting, and it's so much faster and so much clearer. I can only imagine as we become more adept and able to use this technology, what it's going to mean to fishermen, whether they're fishing 1 foot of water or they're fishing a ledge in 45 foot of water. It basically allows any fisherman an advantage no matter at what depth or what range they're fishing. So, you know, as a fisherman, I can see that tree, but what I can't see is what's underneath the water by that tree. Right now, I've got my LiveScope set to go out there about 50 feet, and you can see as we're getting closer, that tree is coming up more and more on our screen right there. Now it's 30 feet away, which is about right, and we can actually scan that tree. Now that's fairly a skinny tree, honestly. There's not a lot of stuff underneath it. Now as we turn our gain up, you'll begin to pick up more and more of that tree, but you also begin to get a little more clutter in there. And a lot of people don't like to see all that clutter. For me, I think that helps you identify little minute things there, such as a small crankbait coming through the water or some of your drop shots. So I want to get just enough gain up where I start to see some of that clutter, but don't lose control of my screen. And by that, I mean, I can still tell what's happening there. I can still see the branches. I can still see my bait. I can still see things defined wise, but I have a little bit of noise there because I want that sonar, by turning that gain up, helps pick up those small objects. Once you start looking at Garmin's LiveScope and the instant feedback that you get anytime that it hits a target, anytime that signal that is emitted from that transducer goes out and something gets in its way, it's immediately you're getting feedback back to the unit. And what that allows you as a fisherman to be able to do is to see that object in the water. And now that object, and there's a lot of different things here that I think people have to look at. That object might be a tree, and that tree that you're looking at may have a bunch of different branches, and you literally can see fish suspended in and around those branches. And then when you drop your bait down into those branches, you can watch those fish instantaneously react and be able to tell what they did or didn't do to your bait. All right, you can actually see my bait right there go down right beside that tree. You know, and that's one of the cool things as a fisherman. You know when you throw out there, hey look, there goes my bait going right down into the base of that tree. You can watch it fall all the way down there, and if there's a fish there, you'd actually be able to see it react to it. And to me, that's one of the coolest things, is knowing that there's not a fish there. I mean, I literally was able to scan around that tree. I didn't see an object that showed me a fish there, so why fish it? You know, there's no guessing. I think, well, there could be a fish there. Before I had LiveScope, I'd make 10, 15, 20 casts, wasting my time. There's not one there. Now, I just go on down to the next tree. You know, LiveScope, I just am blown away with what we've been able to see and what we've done with it in the ice fishing arenas and what we've done with it in the bass fishing arenas and some of the things ahead that we're going to be able to do. And I just tell people all the time, if there's only one piece of electronic that I would put on my boat, this would be it. I mean, from a transducer, because it can do what I want to do now. And I have a dedicated unit on the front of my bow all the time, just to LiveScope. I don't segment that screen. I don't make that screen have mapping and traditional sonar. It's only showing me Garmin's LiveScope.
When we return, Wade unboxes a new Garmin unit and configures it with Panoptix LiveScope at the front of a new Ranger boat. Stay tuned to learn more.
What them sons of fishes up to now?
Fellas, I give you the force trolling motor. It is the most powerful, the most efficient on the water.
Yep. Most powerful. We're really in trouble now.
And it's quiet, too. You can't swim here.
What a dumb bass.
At the pinnacle of super high output, 4-stroke outboard performance, you'll find Yamaha VMAX SHO, Yamaha's game-changing SHO technology. From exhilarating V6 models to the sleek inline 4s, there's a VMAX SHO for everything from bass to bonefish. It's an extended family of 4-strokes engineered for lightweight, inspiring performance, and rock-solid reliability. Discover VMAX SHO and elevate your expectations.
We demand a lot from the products that we use on our adventures around the world. When it comes to keeping things seriously cold, we rely on Angle Coolers, who have for over 50 years kept things cold. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Engel, the original high-performance cooler. Sunline America, the strength to guarantee your confidence. And by Power Pole, total boat control. Welcome back to the Fisherman's Handbook. We've talked a lot about Panoptix LiveScope and all of the capabilities of this great product. Now, Wade is going to unbox an EchoMap Ultra 126 SV and walk us through the process of installing this unit and wiring it for Panoptix LiveScope.
We're going to rig this new 12-inch EchoMap. This is a great unit for everybody out there. It's really easy to use. You've got clear view, you've got side, you've got your traditional, you've got some incredible mapping that's built right into it. It's easy enough so that anybody can mount it on their boat on their own. You're basically going to go into your wiring harnesses, plug it in, run your wires to your transducers down your trolling motor, and you pretty much got it set up to take off and running for you. It's not hard at all. We're going to mount this on an aftermarket TH Marine mount right here that basically will elevate it. It's going to allow it to handle any type of rough conditions that we're going to deal with. And you notice all the pre-cut holes there. You can use that same mount for a lot of different units out there. This is, like I said, one of the easiest units in the Garmin lineup to be able to use. It won't take us any time to get this mounted. And then we're actually going to additionally put LiveScope on there. This particular model and unit is capable of handling LiveScope as well, and I just personally can't even imagine ever fishing without LiveScope. You know, as you take it out of the box, you can see it's a really self-contained unit right here in the back. That's where you'll hook everything together once we get the back end and the brackets all set in, and it will lock into this so that it's real easy to take on and off for storage, whether you're putting it in your garage, storing it outside a hotel, or wherever it might be. One of the things I always like to do when I'm mounting a unit, I really want to think about how I'm going to set it up and kind of come through and adjust it to all that. No doubt about it, before I start drilling any holes, that's about how I would typically use this unit. We're going to be standing here looking down, so my range is going to be around there. And so if I drill my holes here and then go ahead and bolt it in right in there, I'm going to have plenty of room, as you can see, be able to run all my wires here. I'm not going to be pinching anything, not going to be impeding anything, and I can move it any direction that I need, whether I want to end up there or go straight up. And I actually like how elevated this is going to be. You know, my eyes are getting a little old. I'll get as close as I possibly can. So we're going to go ahead and lock everything down exactly the way we see it right here. We're going to go ahead and start running our wires through this tray. This Ranger RT178, like all the different Rangers, is set up for easy application, easy use to be able to run your wires and have it rigged out. Well, that about does it right there. We've got everything put in. Looks like controlled chaos after, you know, we've cleaned up the boat and organized everything to a point, actually. We got tools everywhere. We got wire clippings everywhere. But the good thing is we can daydream about what we're getting ready to go do when we put this boat on the water, because we've got it tricked out with all the goodies. I'm just gonna go inside and let you clean it.
Time now for our final break. On the other side, we introduce you to the latest award-winning product from Garmin, the Garmin Force Trolling Motor. You won't want to miss it.
You know that guy that's always bringing in big ones from offshore? He's got secret lures. That guy that can pull out his spinning rod and start catching them when you can't buy a bite. He's got secret lures. What about that guy that can follow you down the bank and catch what you left behind? He's got secret lures.
Oh, yeah, good one.
If you're ready to be that guy, get your secret lures today at secretlures.com.
When you spray on a layer of Sawyer's permethrin insect repellent, you've just sprayed on adventure. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
Probably one of the #1 questions I get, what line do I use?
That's a big debate. On every tour out there, everybody's debating which line.
I choose the simple side. My choice of line is Sunline. One of my favorite lines to use is Sunline.
How all can you use it? Anywhere you want to. Anywhere there's water and bass, it's good. Walleye, catfish, trout, speckled trout, sharks.
There we go.
I don't say this unless I think it's true, but honestly, it's the best in the market.
The Fisherman's Handbook is brought to you in part by Sawyer Products. We keep you outdoors. TH Marine, from transom to trolling motor. And by Wiley X, absolute premium protection.
Best of the show. Look, trolling motor. Look, here it is. Here it is. Best of the show 2019.
Year after year, Garmin continues to reel in the awards with innovative new products. Earlier in this episode, we took a look at the 2018 ICAST award-winning Panoptix LiveScope. In 2019, Garmin took home more awards again, this time with the Garmin Force Trolling Motor.
Garmin does everything in the world bigger and better than anybody else out there, and now they're in the trolling motor game.
You guys asked for it, and Garmin has now delivered the brand new Force Trolling Motor. This product is absolutely amazing by Garmin.
One of the cool features that I like about this trolling motor is the ability to see your speed and your battery power right there on the top of the trolling motor. And what that does for me is it gives me my eye is always coming to right here. When I look down, I'm looking at my unit, I can see my trolling motor, the power there, and everything is right there, easy accessible for me as an angler.
The speed on this is faster than any other trolling motor I've ever used. Not only that, it's also quieter.
So I just kicked the speed up on this thing, and I want to show you guys just how impressive the power on this new Force Trolling Motor is. It is unmatched. Here we go. And already we're going 2 miles an hour, just that fast. And I'm not even on full power yet. And it's continuing to climb. We're at 3 miles per hour right now. Literally right now, 4.5 miles per hour. You can see it on the graph, the GPS will not lie. We are going 4. Let's see, it's still climbing. We're at 4.34, 4.40, 4.53. I mean, this is just beyond impressive. I've never seen this kind of strength from a trolling motor of any brand.
If you notice, it kind of has a beefy design, and that's for ruggedness. That's for guys like me that are super tough, run across 4-footers, get up in the, you know, the stumps and things like that.
I mean, durability is something that's really important to fishermen. You know, when you're looking at a product that's got a multi-year warranty like the Garmin Force trolling motor does, you're basically looking at a company that knows that they've built something that's going to stand up to what us fishermen tend to dish out.
One of the coolest features of the Garmin Force trolling motor is it perfectly integrates with your Garmin electronics. It has a built-in UHD transducer in it where the wire comes up the shaft, super clean rigging, ties right into your Garmin electronics, and you can actually operate the trolling motor right here from a control panel on your unit.
So again, right now I have it on my Panoptix unit, but it's integrated to where I got my traditional 2D sonar, my down scan, and my side scan, high def, all right here. It's all connected right here. Not to mention, just take a look at the bracket and the sleekness of this trolling motor. Really clean, there's not a bunch of wires flopping everywhere. It's nice, compact, and sleek.
You'll notice as you step on the pedal at how quiet this trolling motor is. You can't hear anything. And one cool thing about it is it's a brushless motor, so that virtually eliminates the noise that we've had from trolling motors in the past.
Nothing is going to make a lot of noise in the foot of this trolling motor. It's super quiet, super responsive. You can see it there when I'm turning. This is a full 180 degrees, just that quick. And you can hear how quiet it is.
This trolling motor operates 24 or 36 volt, and the reason that you can do that is because it's a brushless motor. Makes it a lot more efficient on your batteries.
The 24 volt basically delivers comparable thrust to the 36 volt motor. So that ensures you've got one of the most powerful, most efficient and quiet trolling motors on the market today.
And then on the foot pedal, you can go wireless. Right now we've got it wireless, and that only takes 2 AA batteries. You can see how responsive it is.
So if I'm a guide or something like that, and I want to take this foot control to the back of the boat and allow my clients to fish up front, they can do that. And I'm out of the way, yet I'm still controlling the boat.
Other thing they can do is they can use the remote. Now this is a really cool remote. By holding down this N button, it'll actually allow you to wave back and forth like you would similar to a game controller.
So many cool features on this handheld remote control right here. Adjust the speed, obviously down. This is one of my favorite right here. I'm gonna turn the trolling motor on, but then I'm gonna hold this, and just with the turn of my wrist, I'm controlling where I'm going. This is just absolutely mind-blowing to me.
I tell you, when you spend a lot of long days out on the water, one cool thing about it is the lift assist up and down. So we have a shock on the top and on the bottom, so it makes it easy for stow and deploy.
And one of the best features, no more having to hit your trolling motor pedal to make your trolling motor stow properly. The Garmin Force automatically drops right into place.
When you summarize the Garmin Force trolling motor and all of its integrated capabilities, you've got an easy to use, very strong, very powerful, robust trolling motor that's going to be able to allow you to fish all day long. It's easy to stow and deploy. It's built to last. It's built to give you a ton of power, and all of these different integrated capabilities allow the Garmin Force to basically be the trendsetter, and it's why it was recognized and won so many awards once it was released.
Electronics will continue to be an integral part to an angler's success. With the great technological advancements from outstanding companies like Garmin, the future of the sport of fishing is limitless. Thank you for watching this episode of the Bass Pro Shop's Fisherman's Handbook, and we'll see you next time out on the water.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
for precise prescription eyewear. Wiley X knows there's no room for error. We meticulously craft our own prescription lenses to fit our high-wrap frames. And our ANSI safety-rated lenses are tested to uncompromising standards. Nothing but precise. Because precision is everything.
You know, when I look at the tournaments I've won, probably 4 or 5 of the boats that I've won have been on a tube. But I've completely gotten away from flipping a tube because nobody made one soft enough.
Big Bite has come with this new tour series of baits. The thing that's probably the most unique is when you look at that bait, the salt just rolls out of it. And to me, that is the reason a fish bites a tube and hangs on to it. This isn't one of those let's go out and catch some smallmouth tube. This is a let's get it done tube.